Have you ever felt like your posing game is basic and you want to look like a model in photos, but you feel really awkward and don't know what to do with your hands and face and just awkward? Well, I am here to show you how to pose like a model. Hello everyone, Tracie here. Welcome back to my channel. Before we get started, please make sure to hit that subscribe button and make sure to hit that notification bell so you could get alerts on my upcoming videos. So first off, I just want to say how I totally understand the posing game struggle and how awkward it could be in photos. I get it. Brief background about me is I'm happy to say how I am signed to multiple model and talent agencies, especially being only 5'1" because I did not let height discourage me. How I gained that confidence and advantage was I worked really hard on my posing game for photos, and I made sure for every single pose I killed it with my face expressions, with my poses, and just showing that confidence through that camera. So showing that confidence within my photos definitely helped land me to get signed to multiple agencies, ultimately becoming an agency represented model and actress. So today I'm gonna show you the top 6 tips on how to pose in photos like a model. Tip number 1, I highly recommend to do what I call my BEM pose framework. So what BEM stands for is B stands for back straight, the E stands for eyes smiling like this, and the M stands for the mouth relaxed. So the way how this works, to explain it, is, for instance, your back is straight, and every time you are modeling, your face expression has to be relaxed, but therefore still having your eyes intense. For instance, following the BEM pose framework that I created, it is back straight, your eyes is smiling, and the way how your eyes are smiling is you slightly squint the bottom of your eyes, not like this, but like this. You see that difference? This is deer in headlights. This is the E of eyes smiling. And then for the mouth, it's very important that your mouth is relaxed when you are posing for the camera too. So you don't want your mouth like this or like this. You want it to be relaxed. So just slightly, you could have your mouth together with lips closed, but make sure it's relaxed like this. Or you can have it slightly open like this. You see, not too big like this, or like this, or even the eyes big. So you wanna make sure all those 3 things, the BEM pose framework helps in conjunction to have a relaxed face. So back straight, eyes smiling, and mouth relaxed, like this. You see, it makes a huge difference because if you just don't squint and you just look in the camera like this, you're just gonna look like this deer in headlights, just. And that doesn't look good. That doesn't look intense, and that doesn't look too model-esque. My tip number 2 is to definitely have what I call a model mindset. And so what that means is that your mindset about yourself has to be confident and all these positive affirmations to make yourself feel beautiful and confident. And not a lot of people talk about this because a lot of people just worry about, oh, I have to do the physical posing, do this and this. But then again, if you're not in the right state of mind, you cannot be posing in front of the camera. And it really translates through the photos. Like for instance, if you feel really nervous or scared, you're just gonna be, even though you're posing right like this, look, you're just nervous, you know, just posing. And because you have like thoughts on your mind, and it really translates to the camera. So make sure before any photo shoot or anything is to really relax your mind, have a lot of positive affirmations about yourself, and really think in your head saying, you know what, I am beautiful, I am confident, I can do this, I want to portray my genuine true self, and therefore you will be that and you will feel that. because your mind is powerful and you manifest that through your photos. Tip number 3 is to create curves in your body while you are posing. So for instance, you want to make sure when you're posing in your body, you want to make a beautiful S shape. And so the way how you do that, and to make yourself look very slim and curvy, or even accentuate your curves or accentuate your slimness, is to make sure for your hips, for instance, you don't want your hips totally protruded out in front unless you're trying to do some crazy poses for like high fashion photography or editorial photography, which that is just some crazy for modeling and poses that not the everyday woman would really do in photos. The way how you want to create natural curves is that you want to have your hips slightly back. So you curve your hips slightly back and then you protrude it out towards one side. So it could either be your right side, whatever you're comfortable with, or towards your left side. So you want to have your hips back and curve it towards your left or towards your right. And then from there, it really creates that S shape in your body. Like for instance, even if you do a side profile pose, and if you just have your hips protruded outwards, like frontal, it doesn't look too flattering. It looks like you're just, you have no butt, and yeah, it looks like your back is broken. But if you put your back straight and you put your hips slightly backwards, and then even have your hips towards the side, it really accentuates more of your hips and your curves. And you see more of that S shape also on the side profile as well. Tip number 4 is to create triangles and lines within your body and arms. So for instance, when you're doing standing poses, you still follow that S shape posing, and what you do with your arms is that you could put your arms staggered, like put your hands on your head like this to create a triangle right there on your arm. That's on your head, and then the other arm could be on your hips to create another triangle to show those kinds of shapes and lines within the photos, because it's more appealing to the eye. And also you want to make sure to stagger your arms to create those shapes. And when you're doing those triangles, you want to make sure your elbows and your joints, they are not pointing towards the camera, because that does not look good and you do not see your shape, and it just looks very odd and protruding, whereas you want it point away from the camera when you are lifting your arms and creating these triangles, not towards the camera, but always away from the camera. So you see more shapes and lines to the camera. And the same thing if you want to create a little bit more shapes in your legs, you could point your legs outwards towards the side. Don't point your knees not always towards the camera. When you lift one leg up, you want to point it outwards towards the side if you lift one knee and bend it. Another thing you could do with your legs is that you could cross your legs as well to create another elongated shapes where you put your legs together and it just makes it a little bit longer, still creating that S shape within your body too. And for sitting poses, it applies the exact same way. You want to elongate your legs and also create triangles when you are sitting, just as seen here. Tip number 5 is to always make sure to have your arms away from your body. For instance, if you have your arms just on the side against your body and you have side profile or frontal profile, you're not seeing your curves of your chest area. It's just all condensed together and we can't see it. However, if you lift your arm away from your chest area, you could see more of that shape and gaps, so they could see your curves and they could see like, oh, that is your body. That is, I could see that is where your ribs are. That's where your chest is. So it gives more of an illusion there. And it also slims down your arms and your chest and waist area as well. Tip number 6 is to always, always, always have soft hands. So you want to think of yourself as if like you're a dancer, for instance. So you have your hands, if you have your hands like this as super tense, super straight together, it looks like robot hands and it looks very tense and you don't want to look very tense in your photos. So the way how you relax them is if you go ahead and just have dead hands like this, like a dancer, and just kind of flutter it around just like this to help you relax your hands. And what you do is you then could place it against your face softly, against your face, not pushing against your cheek too much, but just softly place against your face like this on your cheek or underneath your chin, and to really relax your fingers and let it separate and bend a little bit to have that fanning, relaxed look to it. So it looks very calm and natural. And also, when you're posing your hands, you have to really be careful to make sure to not have the tendency to have your palms towards the camera, because as you can see, if I have my palms put towards the camera, it's a very big surface area. The attention all goes towards the palm of my hand instead of my face. Whereas if I put it on the side, you could see there's less attention on my face and it looks a lot more elegant and elongated. Same thing applies if you show the back of your hand. This is a big surface area that is a huge eyesore towards the camera as well. And you could see how it's just like hands, back of hands, and it really like detracts away from the picture and from your face. So you always want to make sure when you pose your hands, it's always on the sides of your hands, okay? Never show palm and never show the back of your hand. So soft hands, place it gently on your face, and never show palms or never show the back of your hands. Most importantly, when you are doing any kind of photo shoot and you're posing for any kind of photo, is to definitely have fun with it and to always think of yourself as beautiful, because you are beautiful, each and every person in your own way, and to always give yourself some positive affirmations beforehand and really just have fun with it. And I hope these tips are very helpful for you. And let me know in the comment section below what other types of videos and content you would like to see in regards to posing or even in regards to modeling questions as well. So thank you all so much for watching, and I hope all of you have a beautiful day. To see the full sets of all of these images, I'll appreciate your supporting my Patreon